Joined by Dr. Rob Neal, founder of Golf Biodynamics. He's just finished a fascinating study on wedge play. We have at one time or another, we've talked about spin, we've talked about angle of attack, we've talked about contact point, but right now you want to talk about intellect?
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to consider when you are learning how to hit wedge shots, Martin, because there's a lot of experience that goes into selecting the right shot. And you probably just do it intuitively now, but I think there are things that we can teach people about how to choose the best shot, the one that gives them the greatest probability of success with any given situation. And I think this is particularly true for what we'll call finesse wedges, those shots around the green, Martin, you know, the delicate ones where the typical anxiety level is a bit higher for most club golfers, right?
So are we saying that really perhaps the selection of shots should be a combination of skill level and anxiety level?
Yeah, that's how I like to think about it.
Right.
So you could have the best intellect in the world and you say, I know that this is the right shot here. I'm going to hit the low trajectory, high spinning shot. But if you don't have the skill to execute, there's no point in even trying. So you have to know what your skill level is, how anxious you're feeling at any particular moment, and then make a decision based on that.
You see, it's so interesting. I mean, the science that, you know, we've got a scientist here. The science that we are uncovering, if that's the right word, actually supports what so many great players have done intuitively over the years. Jack Nicklaus said to me one time, if he couldn't hit the shot at least 70% of the time and get the result he wanted, then he would gear down as much as he needed to. So if I was, let's say there was a lake in front of me or something and I was a bit anxious, or I didn't want to hit this super duper high lofted, flip it underneath lob wedge, I might go with something less aggressive.
Yep.
I might take a less lofted club and just, you know, play to the back of the green, because I think it's really important for people to understand you want to play scoring golf, not exhibition golf. It isn't about hitting the shot you want to talk about in the locker room. It's the score you want to talk about in the locker room, for sure.
And Martin, that might mean choosing a hybrid or a putter on a tight lie, up a hill, something like that, rather than the glamorous shot. So that's a good choice for club golfers. And the other thing that you mentioned as well, just intuitively, take some of the loft out of the equation. I think it's more difficult to hit those little finesse shots oftentimes with a lob wedge than it is with a 54-degree wedge or even a pitching wedge.
So just remember, to lower your scores, certainly you need to develop skill, but you also need to develop intellect and make smart decisions with the shots you're facing.